Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about all you need to know about the tropical development, tropical storm Debbie. So, firstly, what we need to know about the storm is that it is a very unpredictable storm because it is currently on Cuba. It's going through Cuba as we speak right now. But there's still a lot more to be heard about the storm. We don't know if it's going to hit Florida or if it's going to hit somewhere around Louisiana or Texas because of just we don't really have the analytics quite yet. And since we have so many things going into consideration, like where is the Atlantic moving currently, like where are the winds moving in the Atlantic and in the Gulf. Gulf is extremely warm right now, so once it does hit the Gulf, it is probably more than likely expected to stick on its path that it's at by that time. But there are some things that we need to take into consideration besides, the Gulf being warm and all of that. We have to be considerate about that. We didn't really know that the storm was going to be developing like this, and it does have potential to be a very bad hurricane if it does move more west, since there's a lot more development, warmth, and more warmth just means worse hurricanes. So if I can pull up the Weather Channel tropical storm, I think it's Debbie path. There we go. There we go, and this is right. Yeah, there we go. All right, here we go. So there are watches and warnings issued for Florida, and there are two different paths that I have seen. One is it's going to hit Louisiana, like in between Louisiana and Texas. The other one that I have seen more frequently is that Florida's going to get hit, but if it turns more of a hook, then that means that the hurricane's going to be worse because it's heading straight more head on. And if we can watch the video, it'll tell us a little bit more about it. And
becoming a leader is a choice.
If you guys would not mind hitting the subscribe and like button if you do see this, that would be much appreciated. And there we go.
Cyclone nears Cuba today. Tropical storm conditions, including gusty winds and heavy rain, are expected to begin Saturday night. This is a large system, so impacts will be felt well away from the center and outside of the cone of uncertainty. Storm surge up to 3 feet is possible. When combined with heavy rain, this could result in a serious coastal flood threat, flash flood threat, and even some river flooding. Stay tuned for the latest updates as details come into focus.
Okay, so with that Texas and Louisiana one, what we saw with Louisiana and Texas, like that one, that model, that string model, one of the things that we saw is that I don't really think that the storm's going to head that way, just because it seems more likely that the wind from the Gulf is going to push it more right, especially considering that the Sahara desert dust that we've been seeing has started to shift to the right. And you can already see on this video, without even watching it, just how more defined that the string model is now that we have more information and more of a path that it's going to take. And you can see there's actually some storms here. And that also brings me to my next point on the radar. If I can zoom out, that would be nice. There we go. I think I can get on that, right? No. Well, hold on. Just a quick minute. There we go. That's what I wanted to talk about, is because it seems that another tropical storm is developing behind the tropical storm Debbie. So we can see that one, right? But then there's one behind it right there, right here. If I can just zoom in a little more, that'd be helpful. Holy dude, I do not know how to zoom in on this thing. There we go. Just wait for this. Okay, so here's a good model. So you can see towards the right side, you can see there's another invest forming, and it does look more prominent and more bigger, and it looks like it could head out to the right here. Um, and yeah, it could hit us from the right side of Florida. And that is worse for more people in like I think more northeastern parts, just because of the just how like much worse it is once it gets into the Atlantic, because the Atlantic is a lot more choppy waves, and the Gulf is not as bad, but the Atlantic definitely means that there's going to be slightly worse outcomes possible, just because every hurricane that we've seen so far hit the right side and towards the Atlantic has been a lot worse. And it does look like a very big storm, and I do want to keep eyes out on that. And another place that actually I need to search up how the weather forecast for Florida. Yeah, we'll just put here. I just picked a random area. Here we go. Let me just share my screen. There we go. All right. So get rid of that. All right. So we're gonna take a look into our let's do a 10-day forecast model. So it looks at as we get into Saturday that we will definitely start to see winds pick up, and I believe that these are wrong here with the miles per hour on Sunday and Monday. I do think it's going to be a lot worse. Hurricanes definitely when you're in Orlando or anywhere near Orlando, especially Tampa, winds can get up to 50 miles. Let's see here. Yeah. So tornadoes are more than likely. Please seek shelter if you guys do see any tornadoes. I have taken classes, by the way, for the weather. Sorry, not for, oh my God. I've taken classes as a meteorologist, and it's a crazy world out there. I have taken classes on that, so I know a lot about what I'm talking about. All of what I'm talking about, and if I say something wrong, please let me in the comments. So here we go. You can see our forecast here. I'm repeating this again, but winds are definitely going to get worse than this. Tornadoes are more than likely. I think it'll be on the scale. It'll be a 3 out of 5 probably. It's not a sure 5 or 4 just because, it's Florida. You're not really expecting anything tornado-like. And when we get tornadoes, it really means that it's a strong system. And this does look like a strong system, but just make sure you guys pull in your garbage, recycle whatever cans that you guys have outside, and any loose furniture outside. If you guys have any like patio areas that aren't insulated or have like screening over top, I do recommend bringing your furniture into, just because you don't want any of your furniture blowing away. The storm definitely over an inch, and then when we get towards the night is probably the worst part. And I did read that there is chances of like 3 inches of rain and lots of flash flooding that will be coming up in the hurricane that we're going to be getting. So we're going to look at the spaghetti. We'll watch that, and then
Dyson's powerful vacuum.
go back into things that will dive deeper into this system, and then I'll get away from this system and talk about more storms that could potentially threaten the U.S. So as soon as this ad ends, we will watch the video.
Vacuum now washes hard floors.
The southwest Florida coast is on alert as a potential tropical cyclone nears Cuba today. Tropical storm conditions, including gusty winds and heavy rain, are expected to begin Saturday night. This is a large system, so impacts will be felt well away from the center and outside of the cone of uncertainty. Storms surge up to 3 feet as possible.
Okay, I know that we already watched this, but for anybody on the left side, east side of Florida, please make sure that you bring anything outside in, especially if you're towards Key Largo, Marco Island, or Tampa, and even towards the Panhandle. Make sure that you guys are still taking all of your stuff out, because this is a very big and wide storm, and that's what we worry about as meteorologists, is because when we see some wide system, it means that there's a lot of uncertainty on what's going to happen. And tornadoes usually form towards the outer bands, obviously, because there's just more, like it wouldn't form in the core, obviously, because there's nothing there. But on the outer bands is what you guys have to worry about. So Orlando, places up north by like maybe Ocala could possibly see something like that. But yeah, tornadoes usually form on the outer bands just because there's a lot more room and development there than what we see towards the core. But still keep an lookout on that. It's a very undefinited set of systems, and there will be another live stream tomorrow to capture all of what's going on. Thank you for watching the stream, and thank you for all your support, and until next time.